Hey, welcome back to Lone Star Smoke Barbecue. In my last video, I said I was gonna do some ribs for the next video, and that's what I intend on doing. I've got 2 baby back ribs from HEB that I picked up. Now these were supposed to be made in the party last week, but actually I left them in the fridge and I totally forgot. My mistake. So, no big deal. On baby back ribs, there's not a whole lot to clean up and cut off like there is on St. Louis style ribs. I mean, really, you're just gonna go through here and, cut off any of this loose hanging stuff. It's not gonna be much. So what I'm going to do is just prep this up real quick because I wanna have these by 5 or 6 o'clock tonight. So I'm just gonna cut that off. These look fine, I'm not too concerned about it. And I'm gonna pull this membrane off and I'm gonna get these seasoned up. So, best way to do this is with a paper towel. One of these is going to be a mango habanero. This is a jelly that I got from Amazon. You can find this in many different places. This doesn't go on right now. Right now it's just going to be a rub with pepper. These will be different rubs on each particular one. They will sit in the fridge for probably 2 hours. That's plenty of time for these things to absorb, and you'll see them start sweating when they've really got everything soaked in. That's the good sign. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these seasoned up, and I will show which one is gonna get which, because in the last 10 minutes of the smoke, each one is going to get a different sauce put on it, and I will show you that near the end of the video. But for now, they're gonna get the particular seasoning depending on which one it's gonna be. But both of them are gonna get the obvious ground pepper. And I've already taken off the membrane off the back. I didn't show that because sometimes it's can be a real struggle. I did struggle on this one. So that is just pepper. Now, the one that is going to be, sorry, I had to get one more spice. So the rack that is going to have this original apple cherry mango called rib candy. I got this from HEB. This stuff is expensive. It's probably about $12 a bottle. But I could get probably 2 or 3 racks out of one bottle, about 2. This particular jelly, and that is a jelly, I'm going to use Meat Church's Honey Hog. That's the one that's gonna pair up with the apple candy. So I'm just gonna get this rub on here, and I'll go liberal on this, especially on the other side. I wanna make sure you get the sides. Okay, flip that one over. Get the pepper. I do all my ribs in foil, and it follows a similar pattern as the 3-2-1 method. It's not quite that long, but it is basically the same method. I got just a little bit left of the honey hog. I'm gonna have to get me some more from the store. Maybe I'll just use this all up right now. I think that's what I'll do, because we're coming down to an end. Jeez. Yep. Well, that's not exactly what I wanted to have happen, but I don't have any more honey hog. Okay. Now, the other one. This is gonna get paired up with this. It gets its normal pepper. This one is going to get Meat Church's Holy Voodoo, which I have a little bit here, but I do have a backup on this. Both ribs will get Meat Mitch Womp sauce. This stuff is really good. I don't I don't think I make any racks of ribs without adding this as a sauce near the end. That stuff is great. So what I do is I put in a little bowl Meat Mitch, about a third comparison to Meat Mitch honey. And then when I do the wrap for the ones that are getting the jelly mango, I put in Yellowbird's habanero sauce. And actually I can probably put them on both. It wouldn't make a difference. But that habanero sauce comes at a point when I get ready to wrap and I put these things in foil face up with this side down. I put butter on the top and I put a bit of habanero sauce and some good old brown sugar and then wrap it nice and tight, and I'll show that later when I get to that point. So the only one that won't get habanero sauce, they will all get this combination. The only difference is one will have the mango and one will have the apple candy. I think I'm gonna do the larger one with the apple candy just because I really love that apple candy flavor. All right, so let me get this finished out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add the fully voodoo. Start with the back. I'm half upset that I ran out of the other rub. That's unfortunate. Go nice and liberal on your rubs. Even if you don't put these back in the fridge and let them marinate, if it's set here on this block for 30 minutes, which I've done before, sometimes I just didn't have time, and I'll leave it out on the board and let this absorb, and you'll see, I'll come back in 30 minutes. This one's already sweating. You can see it's glistening, so that's a good sign. So let me get these back on a pan and in the fridge. I'm gonna let them marinate in this stuff for probably 2 hours before I get ready to put it on the grill. So we will check back with you here shortly. All right guys, I apologize. In my last video, when I came out here to put these ribs on the grill, the microphone was not working, so it is all completely silent. So I have come out, it has been almost 3 hours. I am putting more cider vinegar on here. I can see pullback on this set of ribs on the bones. I just didn't want them to dry out too much, and actually what I think I'm gonna do is they're looking pretty good on the color. I'm gonna get a temp probe here in a minute. I'm gonna temp them, and I think I might actually pull them and go ahead and wrap them. So let me just check that out first. All right guys, these are ready. I'm gonna go ahead and get these pulled, take them back in the house, get them wrapped up with the different combinations, which I'll show you here in just a second, and then we'll put them right back out here for another 2 hours. Yeah, that's hot. This one quite doesn't have any pullback yet on the bones, but this one does. And it's too hot for me to hold up to the screen to show you. I can show you inside though. Okay, I'm gonna get these prepped. Put a couple pads of butter, 4 or 5 pads is fine. Now this butter, everything I get is pretty much from HEB. This is an unsalted butter. I have found other ones that are like this, like an Irish butter, but it costs more. It's like 4 something for an entire thing. This was like almost 3, and I've done both. I don't necessarily taste the difference, so I figured, hey, why not save a few bucks? Other people go with just, you know, straight up old-fashioned butter. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put some brown sugar, and you can really taste the brown sugar later on when this is finished. Now this rack, like I said earlier today, this is the one I want to do in the red apple habanero. Man, this stuff is good. So all I'm going to do is get this, and this comes out like a jelly form. It's a little runny. That's okay. Just get it up here on top. I do all of mine on top of the rack of ribs. I know other guys like to put all this stuff down in the foil and set the ribs upside down in there. I've done that before, I've tried it. I find that Later on when you're going back out there and you are opening this foil up to try and check it with the temp probe, it starts to become kind of a pain. And I have not found any better cooking method by doing that. So leaving it just like this lets it smoke just fine. So this is how I've been doing it, and that's probably how I'll keep doing it. Let me get the other one racked up. This is the smaller set, so we're not going to use that. Let's get some butter on here. Now, go with the brown sugar as well. Okay. Now on this rack, because we'll be using a different sauce at the end, to give it a nice habanero flavor, I'm gonna use this yellow bird. Once again, HEB. There's actually several flavors of this that Yellowbird comes out with. And actually, this is the only one that I've tried up to today. So, that is ready to go. Get this nice and tight. Later on, if you've ever done it this way, you'll see after another 2 hours of them being like this in the foil at 225, you go to open this up and it's like a sauna. You'll see this hot steam rising out of there, and they've been just basically soaking in butter and goodness. All right, I'm gonna get these back outside on the smoker. All right, we're just gonna get these back on the smoker. I'm leaving the temp at 225. That's the way it's been all morning. I'm gonna set my timer on my watch for 2 hours from now, and I'm gonna come check them. They should be ready to unwrap at that point, and then wait till we start seeing about a 1/4 inch of bone pullback on all the bones. At that point, I consider that the last 10 minutes. That's when I put my sauces on, right on here, and then that'll be the final product. All right, it is time. I'm going to make the sauce. I just went out there and temped the bigger set of ribs, and it was already $199, $200 all over the thing. So that one is going to get the apple habanero. They both get meat mitch because I love meat mitch. So I'm going to try and even this out between the two bowls here so that I get an equal amount on both ribs, even though these are two different size bowls. It's all right. Get every last bit of that. All right. This one will also get honey. About a third comparison in ratio to meat mitch sauce. And then on the candy jelly, we can go a little extreme. I'm not really measuring this, as you can see. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna get that mixed up. Smells good. All right, now on the other one, you don't have to put any more of this in there because it's on the ribs themselves from earlier. I just put a little bit, not a big deal. This is the mango jam. Now you can see the consistency of this really looks like jam. I'm gonna give it a little bit more. And these, when you make these, they definitely get very tacky. When you start to grab these with your fingers, start biting in, it is very sticky. But that's just a good thing. It's like sugar. All right, so let me get this mixed up. I'm gonna get out there next to the smoker, open up the ribs in the foil, put this on, and they'll probably be the last 10 minutes of those things on the smoker and I'll pull them, get them wrapped up and let them set for a minute. So let's take this party outside. Let's get these sauced up, give them the last 10 minutes and they will be done. Now this one right here, this one is already at temperature. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all the sauce on this one. And I put it on with a spoon. I let it drizzle down instead of putting it on with one of those paint brushes. Let me get all this covered. And it smells good. Gotta get all the way in the back. Alright, so I'm gonna close that one back up. Give that 10 minutes. This one, I need to check the temp. I can see 1/4-inch bone on this side. And we're at almost 190s. This one's not quite there. It is in some areas, but that's okay. I can give this a little bit more time. So I'll go ahead and pull the first one in 10 minutes. That one will be done. So we will revisit in 10 minutes. Let me tell you something, guys. These have been in the house for probably 30 minutes and the whole house smells like ribs. And once again, I wish I could eat ribs every day, but I don't think that's safe. So this is the cherry habanero, and these are smoking hot. And they look great. I'm gonna go ahead and cut into them. I actually need to take just a portion of them to some friends because they want to try the flavor. So I'm gonna get to cutting. So I'll probably give them the middle just to be nice. So let's see, where's my bones? Let me get this flipped around. Okay, here we go. So the bones this time, and I'm actually surprised because usually baby back ribs are pretty straight, but these turned out to not be. They are a little bit churned. So as you can see, we've got a nice smoke flavor. Smoke ring looks good. Nice and juicy. We got good pullback on all these bones. They look really good. So I'm gonna get cut into one here for myself. I gotta do the taste test. Oh man. I'm supposed to give samples to friends, but I think I might eat the whole thing. I was just pulling right off the bone. It's got a good, mild habanero flavor. I can taste pepper and the candy apple. Wow. Oh man. Those are good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set aside a rack in this container. I'm gonna go check on the other rack, and if they are temping at 200, I'm gonna go ahead and put its sauce on that one, which will be the last 10 minutes. I'll bring them in here and I'll cut into them. So let's see what we got. All right, it has finally come time. I've got the second rack off of the smoker. This is the mango habaneros. God, that's hot. Let's see. You can see some of the pull back here. These are gonna be burning hot. got a nice smoke ring. This stuff is basically just falling off the bone. Super hot. I'm gonna let that cool for a second. That's kind of actually too hot to eat. So, as promised, I got the ribs done. I got to get these over to some friends. Put me a comment, maybe next video, something you guys want me to make. I do have some ideas on what I might do, but you know, if you guys come up with something, put them in the comments. Also, if you liked what you saw today, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Why not? I'm gonna make more videos anyway, and you're gonna watch them, so go ahead.